When an automated assembly line runs without strict coordination, production outpaces consumption. Items pile up, collide, and destroy the physical workflow. In operating systems, this dynamic is known as the bounded buffer problem or the producer-consumer problem. The constraints are rigid. You have producers generating data and consumers processing data, but they must share a strictly limited array of fixed memory slots. If these concurrent processes access the buffer simultaneously without synchronization, the system experiences race conditions. Producers overwrite data in full slots, causing buffer overflows, or consumers attempt to read from empty slots, triggering buffer underflows. Simply increasing the processing speed does not solve this. Without a mathematical protocol to manage the state of shared resources, concurrent systems will eventually overwrite their own data. Moving to the abstraction level of the operating system, we have to engineer a software solution to manage these independent execution threads safely. The core tool for this task is the semaphore. Semaphores come in two variations. A binary semaphore acts as a lock, switching between 1 and 0. A counting semaphore acts as an inventory tracker, holding an integer value that rises and falls to represent available resources. To solve the bounded buffer problem, we must construct a specific 3-semaphore architecture, utilizing one binary semaphore and two counting semaphores. This 3-part framework is designed to satisfy the 3 technical requirements of the problem. First, mutual exclusion. Next, overflow prevention and underflow prevention, all while running without freezing. This diagram outlines the baseline environment, a clean, linear array representing an n-slot buffer, bracketed by producer and consumer nodes. If both processes attempt to access the exact same slot at the same microsecond, a data race occurs. The memory corrupts. Preventing this data corruption requires our first constraint, mutual exclusion. Only one process can access the buffer at a time. We establish this by introducing a binary semaphore called mutex, initialized to a value of 1. When a process calls wait mutex, it claims the critical section and changes the lock's value to 0, blocking all other access. Calling signal mutex restores the value to 1, releasing the lock. While the mutex ensures isolated data integrity, it is entirely blind to the physical capacity of the array. It locks the memory, but it cannot stop a producer from pushing data into a buffer that is already full. Consider a commercial kitchen where a chef places finished plates on a small counter. If full, the chef has nowhere to put the food. Mapping this to our operating system, the chef is the producer, the waiter is the consumer, and that limited counter space is our buffer array. The chef faces a critical block condition. Because the counter is completely full, claiming access to the counter is useless. The chef must physically wait for a slot to open up before producing another plate. The waiter faces the inverse block condition. If the counter is bare, they cannot pull a plate. They must wait for a new item. In digital memory management, these states are the strict definitions of buffer overflow and buffer underflow. To prevent these states, the operating system requires independent variables that track the exact numerical capacity of the buffer in real time, operating completely separate from the mutex lock. Returning to our diagram, we established 2 counting semaphores to track capacity.
Empty is initialized to the total buffer size, n. Full is initialized to 0. The producer code begins by calling wait empty. This ensures it only proceeds if an empty slot is available. Once verified, the producer claims the mutual exclusion lock, safely adds the item to the array, and releases the lock. Finally, the producer calls signal full. This increments the filled slot counter, which acts as a notification to wake up any dormant consumers waiting for data. The consumer code operates in the inverse. It starts by calling wait full to check if any items actually exist. If full is 0, the consumer sleeps. If an item is present, it claims the slot. The consumer then claims the mutex lock, safely extracts the item for processing, and releases the lock. To conclude, the consumer calls signal empty, notifying the system that a new slot has opened up for production. The strict ordering of these wait and signal commands is structurally vital. Inverting them, locking the mutex before checking capacity, guarantees a system deadlock. This animation demonstrates the completed architecture running under concurrent stress, locked to a buffer size of 5. A producer successfully adds an item. The empty counter drops, the full counter rises. two more producers act in rapid succession, continuously updating the state trackers. A consumer processes an item, instantly freeing a slot and adjusting the counters. The producers surge, filling the entire buffer. The empty counter hits 0. When another producer tries to inject data, the boundary limit constraint engages. The wait empty command actively blocks the thread, forcing it to sleep. A consumer eventually removes an item, triggering signal empty. This immediately wakes the sleeping producer, allowing it to fill the new void. The elegance of this architecture lies in its self-regulation. The system balances highly volatile execution threads purely through integer mathematics, requiring zero central oversight. While mathematically sound, raw semaphores have a primary limitation. As thread counts and process complexities increase, manually managing these integers becomes highly prone to error. A single developer misplacing a wait or signal command can induce a deadlock, a frozen state where the entire system stops entirely, simply because every process is waiting for a signal that will never arrive. To mitigate this engineering risk, modern systems often implement an alternative called the monitor. Monitors abstract raw counters away entirely. They utilize a standard mutex lock combined with explicit condition variables. Instead of managing integers, developers use explicit commands like wait not full and signal not empty. Semaphores form the foundational logic of concurrency, but high-level abstractions like monitors are preferred in modern codebases to protect systems from manual implementation errors. Stepping out of the code, this foundational logic dictates the massive scale and speed of modern data transfer networks. This exact three-variable paradigm executes underneath the internal I/O buffering of nearly every modern operating system. It dictates printer spooling queues, how routers manage network traffic, and streaming pipelines caching video without dropping any digital data. The bounded buffer problem provides the blueprint for coordinating asynchronous processes, the core logic to move data safely between systems operating at different speeds.